متوحدي بجلاله المتفرد وصلاته دوما على خير الأنام محمد. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. Imam Jami Masjid Haza जनाब किबला हाफिज मोहम्मद मासूम साहिब, बुजुर्गों, दोस्तों, भाइयों, young children, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on this 25th day of Radi-Allahu-Anhu of 1433 Hijri, the month itself commemorates the coming of that wali who is amongst the wali, amongst the awliya, the way Prophet Muhammad says is among the Anbiya. Subhanallah. We are celebrating his life. We are celebrating his coming. We know him by the name. They call him Qutb al-Aqdab, the pole of the poles. Fard al-Afrad, Sayyid al-Asyad, Qutb al-Rabbani, Mahbub al-Subhani. We call him in our body Ghaus al-Azam, Peer al-Peer, Dastagir, Yarmi al-Peer, Janab Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, Al-Hasni, Al-Husayni, Al-Baghdadi, Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. Subhanallah. Once, just to put things in context, what is a Ghaus? The word Ghaus means the one who helps you. He helps you when he was alive, he helps you when he leaves this world. Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi in his Malfuzat Sharif, first volume, towards the end, he's asked a question. Oh Sheikh, oh Ala Hazrat, does the Ghaus of the time do tawajjuh? Does he concentrate on the world? And through his tawajjuh does he know what's going on? Does he have to concentrate? And Allah says, no. The whole world talks to him. The day talks to him. The night talks to him. The air talks to him. The seasons speak to him. The seas speak to him. The rivers speak to him. Even to the point, the Ghaus Pak mentions, when the sun used to come up in the morning, it would say to me, it's my time, shall I come? Subhanallah. Takbir. Allah. Narae Risala. Ya Rasulullah. Narae Ghausiyah. Ya Rasulullah. Ghaus al-Azam, when Imam Ahmad Raza was asked, he said, do you know who Ghaus al-Akbar is? And he said to the question of Ghaus al-Akbar, the greatest helper is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said the first Ghaus from outside the Anbiya was the Khalifa Awwal. The greatest of all people after the prophets is Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He said the second Ghaus was Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The third Ghaus was Usman Ghani radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The fourth Ghaus was Hazrat Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The fifth Ghaus was Imam Hassan radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Then Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu. All the way to the 11th Ghaus, Imam Hassan Askari radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Then Allah Hazrat mentions these 11 Ghaus of the Imam Hassan Askari. After Imam Hassan Askari, who passed away in 260 Hijri, from 260 Hijri up to 470 Hijri, there was no Ghaus. All the awliya lived in the Ghausiyyat of Imam Hassan Askari radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And then in 470, 471, that child was born. Subhanallah. That wali was born. Among whom Imam Hassan Askari called his murid over. And he said to his murid, I'll give you my sajjada, I'll give you my masalla. Take this masalla, give it to your community, to your family. in the 5th century in Baghdad, a man was standing on the mimbar. His name is Abdul Qadir Gilani. He was saying, my foot is on the neck of all the walis. He goes, take my musalla to him. Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi in the 3rd century. He said to his murids one day while he was speaking, he said, I can hear an announcement is made 200 years later in Baghdad. What is the announcement? The announcement is that a man is going to announce that my foot is on the neck of all the awliya. Hazrat Abdul Qadir Gilani rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, Imam Junaid Baghdadi says, he is the greatest of all the awliya after the Sahaba and the Aim Mujtahideen from the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right up to the end of Qiyamah. And the next Ghaus after Ghaus al-Azam, all the walis from the 5th century up to the time of Imam Mahdi will live in the Ghausiyat al-Kubra of Ghaus al-Azam Radi-Allahu-Anhu. Then Imam Mahdi will come, he will be the Ghaus, and he will be Ghaus Akbar, and he himself will then convert the whole of the world to Islam. He will fulfill the promise of the Quran that the whole world will be Muslim. So the next Ghaus is Imam Mahdi. To remember Ghaus al-Azam from the 5th century is important to understand the Ghaus who is coming. Imam Mahdi is the Ghaus. He is on the Ghausiyat al-Kubra too. And we need to understand the Ghaus al-Azam to understand Imam Mahdi who is coming. Just a few words about Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani. Who was he? He was born in 471. He himself says at the age of 16, I went to study. I arrived at Baghdad at the age of 18. When he was born, his father heard a voice, and the voice said to him, سَيْكُونُ لَهُ شَانٌ فِي الْأَوْلِيَاءِ وَالْأَخْتَابِ كَالشَّانِ بَيْنَ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ وَالرُّسُلِ. His status amongst the awliya will be the way the status of Prophet Muhammad is amongst them. When he was born, the awliya before mentioned that he's coming. They heard about his coming. They knew from the spiritual world that he was coming. They knew the Ghaus was coming. When he was born, the night he was born, it was the 1st of Ramadan. His mother says, people knocked on my door and asked, you are Sayyids, you are from the bloodline of the Prophet ﷺ. Is it Ramadan today? Is it Roza today? And she said, I don't know, but a child was born, and my child has not taken milk this morning. Allah Akbar. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani started fasting as a child in the lap of his mother. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani rahmatullah it is mentioned that between his shoulders was the footprint of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Between his shoulders was the footprint of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We need to understand also that some of the Mu'arrikheen mentioned the night Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani was born, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the whole of Jilan, any mother who gave birth, she only gave birth to boys. We need to, another thing I want to bring in today, it is Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day today in our society. And this verse of the Quran, قُرْ رَبِّ الْحَمْهُمَا, Surah Isra verse 24. Oh Allah, have blessing, bless both of my parents. قُرْ رَبِّ الْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي. The way they looked after me, they raised me, they cared for me, they shared love for me. رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا, when I was a young child. The love of our mother regarding Mother's Day, just coincidental. So I will look at the life of Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, give a few examples regarding his mother, his relationship with his mother. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani rahmatullah alayhi ta'ala mentions one day, it was the day before Eid, it was the day of Hajj. I was a young boy. I walked out into the lands. I went to the farm and I started walking behind the cow, bull. When I started walking behind it, it turned around and looked at me. And he said to me, Ya Abdul Qadir, Ma li hadha khuliqta, wala bihadha umirta. Is this what? Oh Abdul Qadir, your Lord did not create you for this, nor did He command you for this. Your job isn't wasting time behind cows. You are greater than this. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani says, as a young man, I came home and I climbed on the roof of my house. I looked towards Makkah and I saw the Hajis doing Hajj in Arafah. He goes, I understood that there's a greater purpose. So I went to my mother and I said to my mother, can you do hiba of me? Can you do waqf of me? Can you give me in the way of Allah? And why? Because I want to learn knowledge and I want to go and visit the Salihin. I want to meet the name people, the awliya. His mother asked, son, why? And he told the story about the bull. And his mother came into tears. And she said, my son, I give you permission. Then Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani gets ready, prepared to go on his journey, to go to study knowledge, to go to learn ilm, to go and visit the awliya in Baghdad. He's preparing to leave. His mother says, I have 80 gold pieces that your dad left for me. But he said, here, I have a brother, give 40 to my brother and I will keep 40 for myself. His brother sold the 40 pieces. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, according to Ibn Hajar Asqalani, rahmatullah ta'ala, he said his brother sold the 40 pieces under his armpits and put them into his clothes. And he goes, when I was about to leave, my mother said, my mother took a promise of me. मेरी माँ ने मुझसे कसम दी कि तूने कभी किसी मामले में झूठ नहीं बोला. My mother made me swear on it. And when I was about to leave, and these are the words of his mother. Ibn Hajar Asqalani is a very meticulous writer. This is a quote from Sayyid Abdul Qadir. He says, my mother says, خرجت عنك الله وهذا وجه لا أراه إلى يوم القيامة. This face that I see who's leaving me today, I think I will not see till the day of Qiyamah. She's saying to her son, she is a waliya. He is the son of a waliya. He is the son of a waliya. He said, his mother said, I will not see you again. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani said that I went with a small caravan. My mom put me with a small caravan of camels to go towards Baghdad. I joined this caravan. Then 60 robbers came and robbed it. They lined the people up and started taking people's wealth and possession of them. And they came to me and they said to me, Ya Faqir, Ma ma'aka, what do you have with you? Oh, poor person, what do you have? Because I said to him, I have 40 dinars with me. I have 40 gold pieces with me. And they said, where? He goes, under my armpits. And they thought he was joking. So the next one came. And he said, oh, what do you have? And he said, I have 40 gold pieces. He goes, where? He goes, under my armpits. So he thought, this is making joke. So he left him. When they were counting what they had, the leader asked them, what's happening? There's a kid in this group, young man, 18-year-old. But he's saying that he's got money under his armpit. He goes, call him. They called him. And he says to Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, rahmatullah, he goes, what do you have? He goes, 40 gold pieces. He goes, where? Under my armpits. He goes, where? He goes, it's sewn into my clothes. So he goes, take your coat off. He took his woolen garment off. And they opened the stitches. When they opened the stitches, there's 40 gold pieces in it. He said to him, he goes, what made you do this? Why did you tell me? I couldn't see those 40 gold pieces. My people couldn't find them. Why did you tell me? He said, I promised my mom I wouldn't lie. I promised my mom I would not lie. I will be truthful, I will not lie. You asked me, I told you the truth. Though the leader of the 60 robbers, he broke down and he said, you don't betray your mom, and I betray Allah every day. And then the robbers said, all the robbers were affected. They said to him, you do tawbah, you led us in robbing people, lead us in tawbah. And he goes to Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, can we do tawbah on your hands? They were the first people to do tawbah on the hands of Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani, rahmatullahi ta'ala. In other words, Sayyid Abdul Qadir Gilani arrives in Baghdad. His mother is to write lectures to him. Imam Ibn Hajar Asqalani, this book which I have with me, it's a new translation that should be coming inshallah. But Ibn Hajar is called Qitatul Nadir fi Ahwal Abdul Qadir Gilani rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. This is coming forward inshallah around Ramadan time. It will be advertised on some of the television channels, the TV particularly. But this is a very rare known manuscript. And why it's an exciting manuscript?